Health is vital to freedom. Without it is a life of compromise. The life I've lived since I was 13. Expression without movement. Well, today couldn't have gotten any more shit-tastic, man. It's December 16th, 5:46 p.m. And just the crap that went down today was so dark and evil and complex and just so dumb. Okay, and I'm gonna get into that. I want to tell you how my day started off, though. My day started off waking up early at 7:30, going to visit my friend David Marmon. My friend David Marmon is a really good friend of mine, and to say his full name, I say it proudly because he's been good to me. Okay, and we went over, had a great chat over in LBC, Long Beach City. I'm not throwing any signs up. This is just my normal hand motions. And, I got to hang out with him and his girlfriend, and we got to have a great chat, catch up. I haven't seen the dude in like half a year, 6 months, ever since I lost my car. So it's been a really long time. Back in May or June, it's been a long time. And I just found out that I could take a bus to be able to go all the way down there, so I did, right? And we just had a great chat for a couple of hours, me, him, and his girlfriend. Then I ended up going to work from there, which takes about an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours, to go from Long Beach all the way to El Segundo on the the Pacific Coast Highway, the Freeway 1, or not even Highway 1, right? And that's exactly what I did. I showed up to work, and the first thing that happens when I walk in the door, happily greeted by many people that know me. To give you an idea, I introduced myself to everybody who was in the restaurant the first day, even back of the house. Front of the house, back of the house, everybody knows me, right? Second day, I did as much as I could do, but for the most part, I just worked. People already knew me. I was established. Then I just worked. Now, third day comes in. I walk in. I get greeted. Cool. I see the assistant manager. Her name is Hannah. And through seeing this assistant manager, she's like, "Oh, happy you could come in today." And I had no idea what was coming. But as soon as I got ready to clock in, she's like, "Hey, I want to speak with you." Yeah, whatever. I got something to attend to. Give me a moment. I'll be right back. I want to meet with you. She pulled me over, and we sat down in probably the least busy location of the area. And I sat down in some spot where there was light shining directly in my face. And I'm like, "Hey, can I move?" I sat down again, and I was still in a light shining in my face type of deal. Not cool, okay? So what she ended up talking to me about was full out accusations. "I don't think you're good enough to be able to do this job. I don't think you're qualified. Just based on what I know, all of my experience and seeing all of these people, I know that you're not good for the job and you won't pass certification. There's no way. So I'm going to stop your training, and what I'm going to do for you is to be able to help get you started and help you get to the position that you want to be in as a server. I want you to be a back server. And I want you to work this position, and if you happen to prove yourself through the work that you do, then you'll be able to be a server." And you see what that is a setup for a compromise. It's making you agree to a contract that you wouldn't want to consent to. You came in with the expectation to get the job for a server. You got hired. You start getting trained, and they tell you, "We're stopping training," or you consent to this, and we'll continue. No, don't do that. You'll ruin you, okay? As long as you stay true to your heart and you have the conviction in what you believe, and you just be real and honest, right? And you be childlike. Keep asking questions. Keep being curious. Like, why would you think that in a way? Like, why are you saying these things? How do you mean? I kept asking the same things because she wasn't making sense. There was no rational argument to her story. It was just a bunch of blah, 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 blah. "I don't like your energy. You're not learning as fast as you should. Other waiters have already done this, and based off of what I know, you're not going to qualify." And I'm like, "You're disqualifying me based off of things that I haven't even finished yet. I haven't even done my certification. I haven't even finished my training. In fact, my training has been halved. I haven't done all the stuff on the list. Hardly less than half. I haven't tried the food last night. I haven't done this. People were busy. We didn't get to attend to that. You know, I never even went and did the expo line and saw all the food come out. All I did was follow a person and watch what they did. That's it. I didn't get to do my role. I didn't get to serve. I didn't get to do anything. So all that's happening is this person is hating on me for my energy, and because of their rude and ridiculed judgment, they're trying to come up with some sort of critical story, make me act out and lash out so that they can kick me out and terminate me. Or make it so that I'm so small that they can stomp me and crush me beneath their feet. And I would never want to agree to that, right? I've done it before at Costco when it came to somebody trying to put me in a corner when it came to dance, and all I had to do was break free from this sort of illusion and say, oh, is that what you said? I remember you said for the day. You told me to go dance in the corner for the day. Yeah, that's what I heard. No, I don't agree with what you're saying. I prefer not to. Thank you. You know, that's all it takes. But this woman ended up calling upon me, telling me the same stuff, not empathizing with what I was saying, not understanding, and we were both speaking back and forth. Hey, I need a better training session. I need to be able to learn the things that I need to learn and go through the regular process. Then I can do my best job. So why are you trying to skip things? Why are you trying to shortcut things? Why are you trying to terminate something that just getting started, hasn't even finished? I don't even expect myself to be ready within 10 days, let alone 5. And you're telling me on day 2, 2 days gone, day 3, that I'm not good for the job? And based on all my work experience, and I happen to crush it in the interview, I'm not good at doing this? Based on what you know? What do you know? Oh, well, I don't like how you are treating people with how you are. What? I don't understand. What do you mean? How does this work? Like, what can I do better? You understand? I'm not responsible for your emotions. Yeah, so this is why. You understand? Shut down. Okay? Stand your ground. Be real with your deal. What's going on? Empathetic, but do not agree to that contract. Do not consent to something that you would not want to agree to. Do not sign a contract that you wouldn't want to consent to. That's the deal. It's angels versus devils. But which side are you on? The question is, which side are you on? If you want to play angels, then you got to be close with God. You want to play devils, then you got to be close with. And how they play is with trickery and deception. How we play is with honesty and reality, morality. So if you want to get real, and you want to get on a team, you got to be clear with your intent. And you got to not F with all of the BS. Okay? Just do you. This is a very moral world. The world is not so black and white. The options were to do training. The options were to not do training. And if I did happen to do training, well, I would have to consent to being a back server because this is what's right for me. And that's the agreement. And I happen to make another option. All I want to do is do training. Can we do this? Can we just go through the regular process? No. Okay. She brought in another person to speak with me. That person ended up being on her side, not making sense. Well, more sense than she did. A lot more sense. But backing up her side, speaking his terms. As soon as I finished selling myself and speaking everything that was worth stating, immediately, he says what he says. Didn't empathize, just happened to kind of agree to one thing I said. And oh boy, we all don't get along. We all don't communicate effectively. A lot of people communicate, not many connect, right? So we were just talking back and forth. I'm like, this doesn't seem to be working. We're not connecting over this. I really feel that if I want to be able to get this message across and for us to really be understood and communicate effectively, you know, it would be better to speak with someone else. So they happened to suggest earlier for me to speak with the lead manager or the general manager. And oh boy, I took that option because no way I'm compromising on that day. They specifically wanted it on Tuesday. They specifically wanted it to be between 2 and 4. And because they happened to mention that I could email this person, I happened to go for that option. But I didn't actually have her email. Although I was smart enough to back myself up and grab 4 business cards on my way out the night before, I didn't have the actual GM's card. I don't think she has one. I didn't see it in the whole set of business cards. So basically, I thought I was set, but I was kind of screwed. But it's even better because there's no contact. Nobody knows. And I didn't agree to setting up a meeting between these times. What they ended up doing was threatening and call security on me. Like, are you kidding me? Do you know how unwelcome that makes somebody feel? As soon as they did that, I stood up and I walked out. Because they said, you're dismissed or whatever. Oh, no, we want you out. We're going to call security if you don't leave. Okay, then. Okay, then. So we take a whole hour for this conversation. We can't even come to an agreement on me meeting with somebody else, on me having this time, me being able to speak one-on-one with that person. Obviously, there's a sense and need for control, and there's something going on wrong here. I mean, even when I said something like, we're going to be doing this, or this is what you want me to do, and this is what needs to be done. I need to do more training, right? She's like, yeah. And she happened to hear it wrong or something. I don't know. But she caught her own words in her tongue. And when she said, yeah, so I'm like, then let's do it. Let's do more training. And she's like, oh, you tricked me. You know what I mean? So she's playing mind games. It's freaking obvious. It was from the start. And, oh my gosh, I'm not tricking anybody. I'm being real. This is what I need. This is what we need to do. This is the solution. And you're trying to cut it short. BS. So I ended up getting dismissed and walking out, not throwing a fit or anything. I clocked out. And they're like, oh, it's the law. You got to be 2 hours. I'll clock you out. Nope, I'm doing it. I didn't even work 2 hours, let alone work, is what I'm thinking. So it was not good, man. It was not good. So I ended up going home, and after all that travel, man, I had to come home today, and what do you know? She ends up calling me. And she ends up calling me at a time where I come home and find out that the stove burners aren't there when my dad said I could eat food in the morning. Well, the thing is, there's only availability between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Saturday where I can use the stove burners, if that's even it, where there's one burner there on the stove. And if I don't happen to meet those times, it gets taken out. Well, it happened to be a Sunday, right? Sunday morning, he offered me to have this food or whatever. I come back later today, stove burner's gone. The water pan is there on the stove with the seaweed in it for soba noodles. The soba noodles are made in the fridge. There is a tempura patty, right? But it's all cold. I have nothing to heat it with. So I have to pull out my own little camp stove burner, the gas ones, propane tank, that I bought way back when I did drywall to be able to heat up the water to eat. And I had to go outside. Now, I'd done this before, but my dad thought that I did it in my room, and because of that, he's like, that's even worse than using the stove. He thinks I'm gonna burn down the house. Are you shitting me? Are you serious? That's how I get treated. Okay, so this is the same scenario, and I've totally built an armor based off of having gone through struggles and hardships. Like, this doesn't just come out of nowhere. I have naturally acquired a sense and a protective veil to be able to interpret these things and defend myself and move forward in progression. I have been through some crazy stuff. I didn't get here without doing anything that challenged me. I've been through a lot of shit. So if you want any perspective on empathy, gratitude, ego, self-awareness, whatever the heck it is, I'm your guy. Because I've been there. This is where I'm coming from. If you want experience, I got it. Nobody else is spitting truth like this in a level of awareness where you haven't even heard these things before. Okay? Other people, they got their own game. They got their own talk. This is the stuff that I've been through. Okay? And I don't know that many other people are talking about it like this. So, she ended up calling me while I was eating that food outside. And she ended up trying to press, we're meeting at 2, like she said before, with the guy trying to set it up. I'm like, okay, I understand. What I'd like to do is come in as if it was my regular shift, nothing happened, and be able to meet then. It's like, oh, no, this is what's happening. It's done. It's final. That's it. This is what's happening. And if you do come in, you're not clocking in. I'm like, okay, I don't mind that. So I'll come in then. Oh, okay. So all of this crap, this whole sphere of shit that I'm going through, is real. It's real, okay? It's like I got a job, but the freaking devil came through and says, I'm going to do everything I can do to make sure you stay down. You know what I mean? I've been getting these bus rides for free for like the past week. So fortunate, right? I'm so happy I made a little bit of money with eBay. Oh my gosh. There's just so many setbacks that I'm going through. And all I'm going to do is prevail. You know, if God wants that to happen, if God wants me to work there, then it's going to happen. Okay? I'm so glad I prayed to God at that table before Dan the man came up. Okay? Now I got to speak with the manager, Lisa, to be able to get all this done, taken care of. So, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. God's got me taken care of. I'm on my path. Things will work out. I'm going to show up at 11 and put in some work, man, because that's what I'm there for. Tuesday! I'll see you then. Gosh. From how much I've been through. It's got... I'd rather be understood, but I can't do it on my own. I need your help. Will you please help me?